Today I'll be talking about writing task 2 of IELTS examination. This question is taken from book 12, task 7. I'm only going to focus on the content, how to structure an essay. I won't be going through the language because I won't have time, and I'll do it in the next video. First of all, when you receive a question, the first thing you have to ask yourself is that whether it's a discursive essay, which means it's a discussion and you talk about both views but you don't have to make a stand, or it's an argumentative, you also have to talk about both views but your opinion should be inclined towards only one perspective. Therefore, you have to make a stand. Today we are going to focus on content because if you were to look at the band descriptor of IELTS, actually task response takes up 1/4 of the task of the marking scheme. So make sure that you have a good structure. Also, if you have a good structure to follow, you actually will also fulfill the coherence and cohesion criteria. So that will be half. Okay, so half of the marks that you will have gotten. So now let's take a look at this question. You can read it on your own. I'm not going to talk about it, but the keywords in the question that tells me this is an argumentative is this part. Give your own opinion. If it just says discuss both these views, then it will be discursive. However, they added give your own opinion, which means this is an argumentative. Therefore, you need to make a stand. Before I begin, just now, since this is an argumentative, you have to talk about both perspectives, but you can only agree with one perspective. Most importantly, you must know the structure of an argumentative essay. So for IELTS examination, because you only have 40 minutes to write this essay, you have to make sure that you hit all the criteria, all the marking scheme criteria. Okay, so first of all, you need an introduction, and then after that, most videos or most teachers might tell you that, hey, you should talk about your own opinion first, but no, actually you should talk about the opponent's opinion, so that when you argue from your perspective, you are going to end it with your own opinion or your perspective, and it's going to create a deeper impression. Therefore, you are going to end your essay on a stronger note, and examiners will remember the opponent's view. Okay, so for opponent's view, you only need to give me one argument of why the opponents might agree with the other perspectives. As for your own opinion, you have to give me two arguments, well-developed arguments. And finally, there is a conclusion. So if you were to look at this is the structure of essay. You will notice that you will need to have 4 paragraphs. Since you only have 40 minutes, introduction is only going to take you about 5 minutes because I'm going to teach you a trick later on. Conclusion also another 5 minutes. So in total, introduction and conclusion will be 10 minutes. And then 30 minutes should be spent on the body paragraph. Okay, now let's talk about the introduction. So the trick is to rephrase the question given. Now let's take a look at this question. When you rephrase this question, obviously you can't rephrase nouns. Maybe sometimes you can, for example, people, girl, all these words, but most of the time you don't have to rephrase the nouns. So what can you rephrase? You actually rephrase the adjective and verb. These are the most important things that you should rephrase. For example, over here, in a number of countries. So here, instead of in a number of countries, okay, we try to rephrase it over here. Okay, so let's try to do an example. So in a number of countries, I'm going to rephrase this. So numerous. You can change the part of speech of this word. So changing part of speech. Or change the forms of the words. Numerous countries is a noun. Obviously, we can't change it. So numerous countries. Okay, in numerous countries. Some people, instead of people, these people are critics. Think is a verb, so we can change it to argue, or you can say posit or contend or assert or believe. So these are very important, and you can use them throughout the essays to interchangeably. Believe that it is necessary can be changed to essential, important, critical. To spend large sum of money. Okay, spend, maybe I'll keep it until I can think of better words. Large sum of money can be rephrased. Huge amount of funds on constructing. It's a verb, change it to building. New railway lines, don't have to change. For very fast trains. Okay, this system is actually already existing in many countries, so we just say high speed trains between cities. Full stop. Others argue, or same thing, just use one of the words there. The fund should be spent on, or rather the expenditure, we can say that, should be focusing on improving, or improving basically means making better, so making existing, we can change it to adjective, to current public transport. Full stop. Ta-da! Okay, our introduction is done, but okay, not quite until we have make our stand. So while, so this is your own view. While both views are valid, I contend that, okay, just make a stand. So let's say we want to talk about the building. More important. Okay, so there you go. Introduction is done. So rephrase question plus your stand. Okay, and actually I'm running out of time. I have a lesson later, so I just talk about introduction for today. So this is your introduction. There you go. And I'll talk about the body paragraph in the next video, and also the conclusion maybe in another one. All right, see ya.